I'll be reacting to The Detective Is Already Dead, episode 12. I'll be watching it from Crunchyroll's website, and I'll be starting my reaction in 1-0, go. Pedal power. I'm pumped up for this. I just hope the animators put in a little bit more effort into the final episode. The thing is, though, when people go all out for the people that they love, they sometimes don't think about the ramifications of their actions. That's cute the way she pokes him. I think he's not trying to be strong. Huh. I don't think there's such a thing as I don't think she has anything to apologize for, because those are the moments where Kimizuka felt the most alive, going off of the implications of the series. But the thing is that life can be unfair sometimes. But I'll give the series credit. At least they explained why she allowed herself, well, at least a heart to be taken away, at the very least, for the sake of Alicia. Oh, man. That's going to suck. And it's a shame that... now that he's seen... now that he's seen CS for that small bit, it's unfortunately done in a time where it's a conflict-filled scenario. And it's impressive how she was able to have Hell's consciousness suppressed too. So that's where she thinks I'm. Not Tsunagi? No. I mean, with everything that went down, it's surprising he still has a little bit of gentleness left in his soul. Kind of mad. I like that track playing. Yeah. She probably could if she wanted to, but she wouldn't, because that'd be unethical. In all things considered, that is a luxury, to even be able to see her at all, especially with what Siesta went through. One last time. That's Detective and Sidekick. Yeah! Oh, man. It's just a damn shame that you can't have Char to have some moments to talk with their mother, but the circumstances wouldn't allow it. Woo! That was way too close for comfort. I'm assuming she's going to probably hit the surroundings or something to try to get some damage on that thing. Now, again, considering everything that's went down, I could see why Kimizuka hasn't increased his focus on certain things. I kind of like how the X-Men's only have money troubles. You know, that sounds like it would have been a lot more funner to see in like an episode than some of the shit involving the characters that aren't CS. Like, no joke. That story sounds like it could have been a full-on episode, and that sounds like it would have been incredible. Like, I'm not even lying. Oh, he's bringing that up. Of course. She's gonna react like that when that's brought up. The thing is, this might be the last time. Well, considering they've known each other for a long time, they're gonna be prone to saying the lines that the other would be prone to saying too. Because you know what to say, when you spend enough time with someone else, you build up some of their habits. Ooh, they didn't though. Let's just be real. Oh man. But that definitely does imply that Siesta went into mind doing it with Kimizik with the way she was blushing while saying that. Okay, looks like they're finally giving it some real animation quality, because before that, the animation was looking stiff. Now they're giving it some budget, like the movements, the way the rocks move, and the square shapes, the dust effects. Okay, now this is actually looking nice. It looks like that's where the budget went to after, because after episode 1, the series hasn't looked that good since episode 1. Yeah, even like the shading too, it looks way more detailed than usual, and even like the way the skirt of Siesta's moving, it looks like yo. Damn, just build a different stuff. Aww. And it further shows you how much of a sweetheart Natsunagi is. Huh? Ah, it's kind of sad. I just love the way he's being Princess Carrie. And the choreography is nice too, actually seeing Siesta utilize of the background. Yeah, you can definitely tell the contrast between this, even though this episode's looking at least a bit on the caliber of episode 1, you can tell episode 1 just looks much more gorgeous when you compare that flashback bit to the bits we see in this episode. It's just a lot more grandiose looking. So at least the animation in this episode's actually good in some bits, which is better than I can say for any episode in the series, not episode number 1. Of course he'd be. But at the very least, Natsunagi and the eye patch girl can help get rid of some of the loneliness that he was suffering through. And she has nothing to apologize for. Because when your time comes, there's really nothing you can do about it when the time comes for your life to end. All right, sometimes plans change the snap of a finger. They seem way more than just simple friends. Whoa! They were way more than business partners. Felt no. These two are just saying that to each other. Which, I don't know about y'all, but that sounds like friendship to me. That really does. I'm just saying. But it's adorable. It's still adorable seeing moments like this. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if anyone deserves to like let it all out, it's Kimizuka, especially after everything he went through. Yeah, I had a feeling that Natsunagi and the eye patch girl and Char were going to prevent him from feeling loneliness. That's good, though. At the very least, Jess is going to be able to rest easy. He's going to say nothing happened, which we all know nothing happened. Ooh. Whoa! I was on the money! I was on the money there. Like the instant she was blushing a few minutes ago, I knew she was going to say that. What? 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 Don't tell me that's how the fucking fight in. What the fuck? Literally, that's how they take on the creature. It just runs through their fucking bullet, and that's it. Like, it built up this epic fight just for it to end in a bullshit way. What the fuck? You know, the base script of the series ain't bad. It's that the animation stuff in the series isn't that good, and they fuck up a perfectly decent script. They fuck it up. Oh. Aw, that's fucking sweet. To see, at least in a way, him and Char patch things up. What makes her endearing to her boy. I mean, they're friendly with each other, so I'm this will all be okay. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing her perform again. That sounds like it'd be fucking awesome. Ducks. Fucking girl. Oh man. I do like her swag confidence though. I ain't gonna lie, that's kind of what makes Saikawa an interesting character to follow. Well, yeah, I'd mind fuck Natsunagi in the circumstances regarding her body. Considering that she has positive feelings about our boy, it'll probably break her if she found out that her body is originally Hell's, who's the person that caused Siesta's heart to be taken away into the first place. I wouldn't mind fuck anyone. He looks handsome with it though. I ain't gonna lie. And I like the contrast to like with the way the animators use the blue eyes to represent it with Siesta. Now we know it's not Tsunagi because it's back to normal red eyes. I don't even think he has to ask that question. She wants this shit. That's what I'm thinking. Once she builds up the confidence a lot, he's probably gonna tell her the truth about her body. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. The thing is, she can't rely on Siesta for every single situation, though. Ooh. The only thing that isn't hers is the heart. Yeah, that's what I thought she was going to end off that. And honestly, considering all the things she does, deserve to rest in peace. No, that's thankfully that was proven wrong because it ended up making a boy slightly happier to air his grievances towards Siesta. I gotta admit, that's one of the few bits where we've seen Natsunagi really funny like that. Well, yeah, I mean, they both had different personalities. Aw, that's fucking adorable. Aw, that's so fucking sweet. Like, Siesta's like one of the most selfless characters in the series by far. Because people in her spot would take advantage of to fully take control over Natsunagi's life. Yeah, if it wasn't for her, he'd have continued being miserable. And there's value in that. I mean, I like how they're at least pointing out that Natsunagi did some things. Even though she wasn't the most active character in the series, she still did important things. No. She hasn't earned the right to be called that yet. You can only really be legendary if you actually accomplish. That's the thing I don't like about the series sometimes. When it has throwaway lines like that, I'm like, no. It ain't gonna convince me that Natsunagi is the bestest ever at being a fucking detective. Well, not the best ever, but a legendary detective. If she hasn't done much yet. Siesta, I can believe that. Natsunagi, fuck no, I can't. She needs to do more before a boy just starts spurting out lines like that. And honestly, this feels more like a mid-season finale than a series finale, but I understand there's more source material. But this series can't really have a good feeling of finality if it just ends like this. It really needs a season 2 for it to really be satisfying. But hey, that can work on her confidence though in due time. I think it was just said it to be playful though. It honestly felt like Siesta was fucking superhuman. Doesn't mean she wasn't superhuman, though, from the feat she pulled off. Ha! Why'd he bring that up? Whoa. Ain't gonna be kissed. I doubt it. Whoa! He knows what the fuck she was saying. She's strolling. Oh. Oh. Oh! Oh. Ha! I thought for something fun was gonna happen. And you know what I mean by fun. Fuck! Why do I have to be trouble now? All right. I mean, hey, at least they're acknowledging that this ain't no freaking epilogue, and there's still more work to be done. Well, looks like this series is over. Well, here are my thoughts on the last episode. If I had to rate this episode on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being abysmal, 5 being out, 10 being exceptional, I'll give it a 6 out of 10 for above average. Reason why I do that is because even though there were bits of the fight I liked in this last episode, it rushed it because literally, don't get me wrong, I like the conversation that Siesta and our boy were having with each other, but it's just like their conversation really took a lot of the intensity from the last 5 of the season, and it completely trivialized the tension aspect they built in episode 11. And to see that the fight ended off screen with the creature just running towards the bullets, I'm like, and then the fight just ends off screen, kind of made it feel like that tension that they built up into episode 11 was wasted. So that's why I felt from a story standpoint, the episode was rushed. I'm not saying there weren't any positive things, because there were. It was nice getting to see our boy Kimizuka react to seeing Siesta again. It was nice getting to see how Natsunagi moved Siesta to do some things. And I love how they set them up going up against the Space organization. So there were positives in this episode. Oh. It's going to be Natsunagi, that's my guess. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, nice. Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I was right. I mean, that would have been the only person that would have been capable of doing that. So, yeah, those were the downsides of this episode, because it's like, really now? And then the final fight of the series, I was hoping to see something that would top episode 1. And even then, considering this is the season finale and potentially series finale, it's a big-ass letdown that the animators still couldn't have found a way of topping episode 1. And that's kind of what lowers the momentum of this last episode, too, that it couldn't live up to the stakes that were built up with the glorious first episode of the series. That's why I found the finale, even though it was entertaining, it was disappointing in some aspects. Now, if say this episode would have been a mid-season finale and there was like 12 more episodes immediately, I'd be like, you know what, that's not so bad since the mid-season finale. But since this is the season finale, my expectations are a little bit higher. So even though the fight had some bits where it looked good, it didn't pale in comparison to episode 1. So that's where I was kind of let down by the season finale. But in saying that, I do like some of the character development. I like how Natsunagi is becoming a bit more bold with our boy Kimizuka. I like the character development there. I like how Kimizuka is going to help Natsunagi work on her self-confidence. And also, this episode does show you how much Siesta does care about her boy. So there were positive things from a character standpoint in this episode. And to the credit of the episode, it was the second best looking episode of the series, which isn't a high bar because, again, the only exceptionally well done episode from start to finish is episode 1. But at least it didn't look like total dog shit. But in saying that, you can definitely tell the production budget for the series wasn't so high. Aside from that, though, I gotta say, the voice acting was great, and the music utilized in this episode was actually pretty good. Now, if I had to rate the series overall, that's where I'm going to put the series under more scrutiny. If I had to rate this series on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being abysmal, 5 being average, 10 being exceptional, I'm gonna have to give it a 4.75 out of 10, below average, because literally it ends off right when things are going to get more interesting. It's like, what the fuck? Now, if it ever gets to season 2, I'll bump it up to a 5 out of 10 for just average. But literally, there's too many loose ends for me to be like, oh yeah, this series ends on a satisfying conclusion. I can recommend this to every anime fan. I really can't do that because it's like, okay, how can I recommend this to any anime fan if the fights in the series, save for episode 1 and 3 minutes of this last episode, aside from those 2 instances, the fights in the series are badly done, rushed. Hell, they rushed the final battle in this episode. I was expecting a grandiose epic on the scale of episode 1 in this episode. So I can't even say this series does action set pieces well. And then Siesta. She's such a good character. But the thing is, she's already dead. And then Natsunagi and Saikawa don't even compare to her. Because here's the thing. Siesta's smart, intelligent, charismatic. But then what you get with the other characters, I mean, I'm not saying Natsunagi is a terrible character, but it's like she's lacking in self-confidence, and her scenes don't have any of those memorable moments that Siesta has. And that's part of the issue. Since the series only has 12 episodes, there really wasn't anything where I can say, oh yeah, our girl has the it factor. Same with Sayakawa. She was just all right. Kimizuka was the only character I can say was consistently good from start to finish, seeing how he dealt with the loss of Siesta, seeing his reaction, seeing her live. Like, he was a nice character, but that's about it, because Siesta was only in like half of the episodes. Well, a little bit. Yeah, pretty much half of the episodes. Felt like half. So from a character standpoint, I'd say the series is all right, with one Senna character up most of the series, and the other Senna one being a character that's already dead. So from a character standpoint, this series is kind of average. From a story standpoint, that's where the series has more scrutiny, because aside from rushed fights, you have some random throwaway lines like Nagisa's and Legendary Detective. I'm like, what the fuck? What the hell has this woman done to be called a Legendary Detective? She has done absolutely nothing at all. Siesta could have been called a Legendary Detective, because Siesta did a lot to deserve being called a Legendary Detective. But motherfucking Nagisa, she hasn't done jack shit. And as much as I like Siesta's planning and her rationale, it kind of did feel like sometimes, how can she predict all this shit like in episode 1 when she makes her planning without any of her plans going to scrutiny? Like, it felt like for certain plans that Siesta made, it relied a little bit too much on luck sometimes. So there are bits like that where the logic in the series felt not majorly faulty, but it did feel somewhat faulty. That keep me from rating this series anything higher than above average. Not saying the series is absolute dog shit, but the negatives do outweigh the positives for the most part. You already know my thoughts on the animation quality. Save for episode 1 and also bits of episode 12. The animation for the most part was pretty bad. Even the backgrounds are poorly done, so I can't really compliment it on that and that much. And that's why, taking all these factors into consideration, if I had to rate this series overall on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being abysmal, 5 being average, and 10 being exceptional, I gotta give it a 4.75 out of 10, with the possibility of me rating it higher than that, at least average, a 5 out of 10 average, and that's only if it gets a season 2. If it doesn't get a season 2, I can't rate anything higher than a 4.75 out of 10, because there's too many loose ends.
There's the space organization they have to deal with. So I can't even give it an average rating because it doesn't even have a satisfying conclusion. Which, again, that can easily be fixed with the season 2 confirmation. And hell, if season 2 ends up being a super badass season to the point where it makes me love Natsunagi, at least somewhat on the level of Siesta, then I'll be like, you know what? I'll be prone to bumping up my rating to the series overall to maybe a 6 or a 7 out of 10. But it will need a badass season 2 for that to happen. And these are pretty much my thoughts on the last episode and the season in general. But anyways, y'all, these are my thoughts on the series. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how I feel about my reaction or the episode itself in the comment section below. Hope y'all rate the video, share it, comment, or subscribe, and I'll see you later if you come back for more. But anyways, y'all, thank you very much for watching my video, and have a fun, great, safe, and fantastic day, everyone. Bye-bye.